Hey guys, welcome back to Factorio. This is EddieMan, episode number 68. In the last episode, we went ahead and we doubled up on our production on some items on the bus, red circuits, and red and green science packs. Now, it doesn't look like here that the red chips were doubled. I just added another column, but there's plenty of room for expansion, as we have enough green circuit production from the bus and from our chip factory, which it looks like here I need to go ahead and finish the chip factory still. That's not a problem. And here we also, like I mentioned, we doubled up on red and green science. I just pretty much just copied the array and doubled it up. So that should be good. Let's go ahead and add another science here. I'll do another science. Let's pick logistics system. Get that out of the way. Okay. Today I want to go ahead and finally build Copper 2's patch. And as the main bus is encroaching on it, I don't want to end up covering it up. I want to start mining this copper out as we're getting closer to the rocket factory here. We will be sending the copper up to the northern part of the train line here for a pickoff station. Okay, and then I'll give us plenty of room to build stuff off the bus, between the bus and the train line, like modular production or parts of the chip factory. Not chip factory, I mean the rocket factory. Okay. So, but to do that, we need to go ahead and exterminate some of the biters here. So let's go ahead and proceed with that here. As you guys notice, I recorded this episode with no mic. Actually, I was testing my new headset out, microphone for my headset, and I didn't switch the input on my recording program to record the microphone. So, unfortunately, I have to do a voiceover for this episode, but it works out. It works out in the long run. Alright, so I almost lost the tank here. But I was able to recover and get out of a dodge way. And just gonna shoot the stragglers here. And repair the tank. Logistics system is finished, and I believe the next research is going to be cannon shell damage 5. Yep. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna go over here by the turrets a little more and just repair the tank. And this time I'm gonna go in with guns blazing instead of using the cannon shells. We're just going to use the regular gun right now. We got to make room for this little eastern expansion of the train network. I was going to put the eastern wall, before the end of the train line, but I figured that we would need that space for a rocket factory and some more items on the bus, so I'm gonna scratch that idea before I even start doing it. Right, we have a secondary base here. Gonna take out the patches and the worms, the spawn points, and look at that, we still got a baby biter. Didn't last long, of course. Alright. I'm just going to take out these blue biters now, as I'm going to return back to base for another repair. Okay. Alright. Gonna end up resupplying the tank here really quick, and we're gonna proceed with the southmost this base that's directly south from us, and you'll see that that gives us a little problem. Nothing I can't handle, but it's a little headache. Okay, I'm just gonna resupply the ammo there, make sure I have plenty of ammo, and I'm gonna start using the grenades. I totally forgot about the grenades on that first base there. I've learned to use the grenades wisely. I do throw them in, but whatever it's gonna take to kill off the enemy, right? Alright. Gonna head back to base for repair here. Almost lost the tank there. Again. Alright, just gonna repair. Alright. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the bus here. And I noticed that we're having a copper issue. And some also areas need to be increased to red belts for better throughput. But I'm only working on 2 lines of copper right now for some reason. It's pretty much the original train line has dried up. That copper patch has been depleted. So we're going to go ahead and work on that. And I also noticed that there's a issue with steel. One steel column isn't even getting any iron ore, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and fix that as well too. I have the connections, I just never connected them fully, so we'll go ahead and bounce back over there a little later on, and we'll fix that as well too. But alright, now let's go ahead and kill the rest of the space off. These worms are getting a little crazy, but they don't get stronger than this. I know the behemoth spiders, the green ones, are gonna come soon. But luckily there's no green spitters. Like worms, I meant. There is green spitters. Okay, again, I almost lose the tank again. And we'll jump out for another repair here. I keep flipping my toolbar, so I have to keep flipping it back. You guys can tell. It's usually when I'm in the tank when I do that. Maybe I should change the hotkey from X to something else, because I don't like flipping the toolbar like that. My basic toolbar is pretty much the same, the generic setup that I've gone accustomed to. Alright, so we take out the rest of the worms here. Nothing I cannot handle. Alright. We'll drop off for a repair and... yeah, I decided to come over closer to the tracks here. That's it. Right. So I decided to make a cut here. I went ahead and I did some off-camera work on the train line here. Didn't want to bore you guys with just laying train down. Plus, I went back to the base and resupplied on certain items. So I'm going to go ahead and lay some laser turrets down. Alright, and also lights. Always lights. Okay. This is a perfect spot for the train pickup, the ore pickup for copper ore. That's eventually going to go back over to the smelting columns. Alright, cannon shell damage 5 is finally done. It took a while for that to finish. Alright, so we'll go ahead with cannon shell shooting speed 5 now. Right, so the train line is going to continue east here to another roundabout and then shoot down. This is going to open the door for these this copper and 2 iron patches down here, which are going to be my backups of all backups. Just in case, a little down the line, if I need more, I'll have these patches here. I also understand, guys, that I know a lot of you don't like roundabouts, but they work for me. I haven't had any problems with the roundabout. Also don't have a lot of trains. I mean, I have a decent amount of trains, but I know some bases have a ton more than I've ever had. But yeah, the system works for me, and I have haven't had to change it much. I know I changed the direction, which way I'm driving on which side of the road in certain factories, but it was just the way I laid out the initial train yard for this factory is determined that I drive on the left side of the tracks. All right. Alright, I'm just taking a look at some signals that I did previously. I want to make sure I did it correctly here. So it's always when you enter a junction, you put the chain signal in, and a regular signal when you exit the junction. Even if you're just coasting by the junction, it's still good practice to do that. So here, as you see, I drive on the left side of the road, so it's the in that instance it was the chain signal on the top and the regular signal on the bottom. The chain signal and the rail signal, I get those mixed up. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and actually start creating the copper patch now. We want to draw some power off the bus here. Might as well, since it's close to distance it. Pardon me. Okay, so we're going to use long power poles to extend the power into the patch. And then later on, the substations will take over to supply each miner with power. So just going to do a generic setup here on the miners. Just wanted to make sure that that right side, far right side lined up, which where I place the power pole, and it does. So we'll go ahead and just place this column in first. Okay. I was trying to line it up as best as I can for full coverage of the patch. Okay, we could get one more up top there. Perfect. Now skip another 2 spaces so I could place substations between the backs of the miners. And that's always been the idea of my mining designs. Even though a lot of initial miner patches don't last long for substations, but it's always good practice to do that. Plus, it gives you full coverage of the patch with as the least amount of mining dresses you can use. Alright, so we're just going to do this last column here. I probably could have just skipped one space here, but it's alright. We want to try to mine the top as fast as we can. What I should have done is I shouldn't have dropped the belts all the way down south. It's going to slow the mining rate of the top miners. Maybe I'll go back and I'll fix that. Alright, so I placed the substations here, line them up in a grid here. Okay. Make sure they're fully covering the mining patch. Perfect. I'll go ahead and place some lights so we can see. And then after that, we'll go ahead and place the belts down. It's like a little maze here. Keep getting caught in the substations. Alright. Place the lights on the power poles as well. Perfect. And then we'll go ahead and start placing the belts here. Alright, we're going to flow the belts up to one point, one junction point, and then flow the belts up north towards the station that we're going to build. Now we are coming down to the end of this episode, so the station won't be built until the next episode, which leads to my next thing. I'm going to go ahead and proceed with capturing some more oil. I know that we have plenty of oil to pretty much get to the end of the game with, but I always like to have a spare just in case. Plus, we're going to be making a lot of solid fuel. I'm sorry. So that's going to take up it's going to need a lot of oil to make that. All right, so we have a 3 junction here. We're going to go from a 3 to a 2. So we need a 3 to 2 splitter here. I initially was going to set it up right here where I have the junction. But I realized that if I was to flow the 2 belts up, it would hit the roundabout. So I'm going to go ahead and move this over to the right here. And that'll be the home for this splitter for now. Okay. I'm going to erase the original splitter that I placed down. And then we'll fix the belts here. Using red belt, of course. Just speed up some of that flow of copper ores. Okay. And this is going to end up working out just fine for our needs. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and drop off the ore I have on me. And this is why I get stuck in the substations. Alright, so we'll drop off this ore so I get it off my inventory. Since there's some more room down here. Perfect. Okay. Let's go ahead and finish this splitter off here. As we get down to the end of the episode. And this will line up perfectly with flowing north for the train station. Okay, and this copper is going to be much needed because right now we're having a copper issue. Usually, towards end game, you come across a bunch of copper issues. Copper is very much needed for chip production, which ends up going into a lot of modules. So that's another thing we're going to get into in the next couple episodes is module production and like a full full spread modules, not just speed modules for high tech science as we already saw. We saw a couple other production science, no, efficiency modules for our power suit. So, unfortunately, that's the end of the episode here. The next episode, I'll go ahead and I'll tear down this train line here as it's done, and we can utilize the parts for the train and the train station that we're going to build for our second copper train. Alright, I'm going to make sure I flow the coal correctly here so it doesn't disturb the trains, and make sure it feeds smelting. So this coal junction is important still. But that's all the time I have for this episode. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here. In the next episode, like I mentioned, we're going to go ahead and capture this oil here. And maybe put some speed modules in our pump jacks that we currently have now. Alright. We got to make sure we can clear the patch in time for when we got to extend the main bus here. So, but unfortunately, that's all the time I have for this episode. So I want to thank you so much for joining me in this episode of Factorio. And if you haven't yet, please go ahead and throw a like at the bottom of this video. It greatly helps my channel out. And if you want, you can also go ahead and subscribe to the channel by smacking that big red button. But again, thank you for joining me in this episode of Factorio. And like always, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.